Hey guys, I just wanted to come on really quickly and share an update with you all. So I'll give y'all a second to get in here. Hi. Thank you. I chopped it all off, Candy. Chopped it off and then figured I would add some color to do a little something different. So I am really excited about it. I actually got it done yesterday. So, but I had cut it off myself a few weeks ago. I don't know if you saw my live video at like 1 o'clock in the morning when I was like, hey y'all, I'm about to do a thing, about to cut all my hair off. Oh my gosh. I'll sit that right there. So it's 1 a.m. and I'm about to do a thing. I'm so nervous, but I'm gonna do it. So I just washed my hair. I'm getting braids in the morning, or faux locks, right? So this is what my hair looks like right now. So I have been letting my hair grow out since like last year, and I've had like twists and stuff in my hair. So I finally took it out because I'm gonna get some new twists in the morning. And why I'm washing my hair at freaking 1 in the morning, your guess is as good as mine. But I did. So as I was trying to comb through my hair, so everyone who has ever had braids knows that you're supposed to like comb through and comb through and comb through so your hair doesn't mat. Well, I thought I did that, but it clearly didn't work, because look, it's matted. I can't. But you can also see, look at these curls, y'all. Who does my twists? Her name is Kiana. She's one of my makeup artists. So she does my twists. So she's doing them. She's gonna come to my house in the morning to do it. But I just want to take a moment of appreciation for these curls, because mind y'all, I've had a relaxer since I was in 5th grade. Okay, you're like what, 10 in 5th grade? So I've had a relaxer for almost 30 years. And because of COVID and because of situations, I wound up not getting another relaxer. So I've just had these twists and locks and whatevers. But this is the thing. I'm not about to comb through this. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I'm not doing it. So I'm about to cut my hair, y'all. With just like some regular scissors, because I feel like I'm putting braids in anyway, so nobody's gonna see it. And I just need to go ahead and do it, or else I won't do it. So I was gonna make this video like and then just post it later, but I needed some mental support and emotional support from you all. So I figured I would just go live so that you can watch me do a thing. So, hey Trisha. So I'm about to cut my hair off, and we're gonna see what these curls look like, because when I finally take the twist out, I'm gonna be left with just my natural hair. So I'm about to do it. So while I'm doing it, we can talk about stuff like if y'all want. But Kendra, I'm about to cut my hair off. Remember we talked about this? Well, we were talking about locks. I'm about to do it, Trisha. Why not? Because this is the thing. The only other thing that would happen is that I would have somebody do it professionally, because I'm not about to get another relaxer. So I've never seen my curls before. I have never. I have had relaxed hair since I was 10. 10. You hear me? That's been almost 30 years. So I'm about to cut it, and you all will get to see me cut it. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Okay. Okay. All right, here I go. I'm about to do it. And I just got regular scissors. Like, I literally just decided this when I was like, let me comb through my hair so I can try to dry it for in the morning. No, Helper. No, Kendra, I'm not doing Tiffany hairstyle at all. That is not my calling in life. Okay. But what I am about to do is cut off. Y'all see, like you can clearly see the difference. So this was the relaxed hair. I'm gonna do like they do on the live. This is the relaxed hair, and then this is all of my natural hair. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Okay, here we go. I'm doing it. Oh my god! Now I have to do it. Yo, I just did it. Okay, well, here we go. And now I'm going to wash my conditioner out of my newly natural hair. And other than that, I'll holler at y'all later. So thank you. I love it. I love it. I get now when people are like freedom because it is totally different. So, um, so hey y'all, I see y'all coming on. Let me know who you are as you come on. I wanted to give an update. I have been in transition in real life transition in like every aspect of my life for like the last 3 weeks. And things have been happening behind the scenes, and I wanted to take a moment to put some of it into perspective so that people would understand how God works, and when things look like they may be rejection, how it literally is not. So y'all do me a favor and share the broadcast for me or tag some friends because I want to be like super transparent about the process today and what that has looked like for me. And some things I've only shared with my inner circle that I feel a lot of people would benefit from. So I'll take just a couple moments so that we can get everybody in. Hey, Gretchen. So I don't have to repeat it over and over again. But in the meantime, check out these curls, y'all. Thank you, Gretchen. I've had a relaxer for about 30 years. So this is a totally new way of living. And I'm super excited about it. So, yeah. So I'm going to just take a couple more moments. Want to get everybody in that is meant to be here, right? Because whoever's supposed to hear this is who's going to hear this. So I am actually up north. I actually leave where I am right now tomorrow to head to a new state where I'm going to be living. And I wanted to tell you all about that process because it has been a long, windy road as I've been trying to get there. So again, as y'all are coming on, let me know who's on because, I can't see who is on. And yeah, so let me kind of set the stage for those of you who may not. Yes, Candy. So I am gone out of Florida. Um, I am up north, but I'm actually heading to Pennsylvania tomorrow, which is what all of this is about. So this is like my real live in transition, sitting on the stairs, just like, let me go tell everybody what's been going on type of thing. You know, I'm not sitting in front of my computer with my lights and all my things. I'm literally just sitting out here on the curb because I just really felt like y'all needed to hear. So as Kendi said, I have been in Florida had been, because I'm gone now, had been in Florida for 17 years. I moved to Tampa when I graduated from Fisk in Nashville. And I taught in Florida for, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I taught in Florida for 14 years in Hillsborough County Public Schools, and it was the last thing I expected to do in my life. I never wanted to be a teacher. I never thought I would find enjoyment in teaching kids. I was like, I'm about to catch charges because these kids be bad. Hey, Caroline, thank you. Let me jump off of this Wi-Fi right quick so I can make sure y'all stay with me. Okay, I'm back. So, teaching is the last thing I thought I was going to do in my life, right? I was like, who is out here teaching kids? I'm not doing this. And wound up having a dream one day. This was in December of 2005. I had this dream, and I was like, it was a commercial actually that I saw, and they were saying they needed teachers and they needed math and science teachers. And I was like, who is out here teaching kids? Like, I'm not about to do that. And then I couldn't sleep that night. So all night long, I was tossing and turning, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, where would I teach, and who would I teach, and how would I teach, and all of this. And I was like, okay, God, I guess you want me to go be a teacher, right? So I go and I teach, and, that's where I know many of you all from that educational space. Well, this past year, so the 1920 school year, I can't give all the details just because there's some litigation that's involved, but very long story short is I got an opportunity to help some of the most neediest schools in Hillsborough County. And any of y'all that know me know that I was like super committed to my school, and I had my mentoring program with my girls, and I had really helped to reestablish the culture at the school, and I was very connected to my school. But this opportunity came up. Thank you, Bianca. This opportunity came up for me to go and help these schools that really, really needed some assistance, right? So I leave my school and I go and I work with this company so that I can help these schools that I knew I had the skill set to be able to help. Well, if y'all know anything about Tampa politics, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. I'm not going to even go into it. So because of Tampa politics and because of previous vendettas about me speaking the truth, I wound up no longer working for that company. Okay, so this was in November of last year of 2019. Okay, so at the same time, so that happened in November. Well, prior to this, I had already said that this was going to be my last year that I was going to be in Hillsborough County. I was anticipating moving up north the whole time. Just wasn't quite sure what that was going to look like. So this opportunity comes, okay, and then I no longer have a job all of a sudden. Like, literally woke up one morning and was like, yeah, you ain't got a job no more. Okay, this is in November. So then that happens. So then in December, my dog died. So any of y'all that know me know Jack was my baby. Like, me and Jack had been hanging out for 10 years. Well, he got cancer, and he fought the good fight. He actually lived maybe about 8 to 9 months longer than he was supposed to live. So I had appreciated that, right? But Jack died. So then after that, things were just nuts. So I had shared, like, on my Beautiful Brown Girl show, how I realized that I was depressed because there was so much stuff that was going on and I just wasn't processing it. And I also have never, like, really lost family members or whatever to have gone through the grief process before. My grandmother died a few years ago, but that was like my first real death, right? So I grew to understand that I was grieving the job loss. I was grieving Jack. I was grieving all of this stuff these dreams, that I had, like that did not match what I had put on my vision board. So January 2020 comes. I'm sorry, y'all. It's kind of loud. I'm literally outside on the stove. But anyway, so January 2020 comes and I'm like, okay, I got to try to get myself together. Like, I've got to try to do something. But again, I have no income, okay? Like, I have no job. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And by the grace of God, some people have found out about my story and they connected me to other people. So every so often, people would send me money. Like, they would just be like, hey, God told me to send you $50. Like, God told me to send you $200. I'm sorry to hear that, Gretchen. God told me to give you this opportunity where you're able to make some money. So like things would, just happen. So my former supervisors reached out to me, and because I was technically on leave from the district, but the reason I didn't go back is because I'm really protective of kids. So I don't want to reinsert myself into situations that I may be plucked out of, because I just felt like God was telling me not to go back. Don't go back to Hillsborough County. So I was like, this doesn't make sense because I ain't got no job and these bills is real, right? But I kept being tested. So again, y'all know I'm a life coach. And a lot of times I'm talking to my clients about faith and about the faith walk and what that looks like to have faith when it doesn't make sense, and to actually do what God tells you to do, even though it doesn't make sense, right? So here I am. I can technically walk back across the street and go to work, but God had told me not to do that, right? So listen, these bills is real, okay? So I didn't go back, but my former supervisor reached out because I was still training for the district. I had worked with professional development since 2013, and it would be 3 hours here, 6 hours there, like what have you. And they reached out and they asked me if I wanted to do this contract position. So with this, it was kind of like a consulting type of situation with a grant where I was able to work with schools on social emotional learning, which is like my jam. If y'all know me, y'all know I am all about, hey Issa, I'm all about teaching the whole child and making sure that we are honoring, the trauma that our kids and our teachers and adults have gone through, and just really being sensitive to the story behind the story. Like, that's what I always preach about. Like, see people and see that there's more that's going on, right? So they offered me this opportunity, and they're like, it's a contract with this school, right? Now, fun fact, this is all how God works, like in this situation. So this school, this principal at this school had actually reached out to me in December when the word got out about what had happened with my job, right? Because I went on the radio and I talked about it and, all of that. So the principal reached out to me and she was like, hey, I have a position here at my school. Do you, you can have it. And she and I had trained together some years ago. I'm talking maybe 4 or 5 years ago. One time, like one 12-hour course we had trained together, and she was like, hey, I have this position over at my school in December. So I remember I was actually sitting outside. I'm about to go to a Christmas party. And I was like, yeah, I definitely remember you. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I really need to pray about it because I just feel like God is telling me not to come back in that capacity. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I know it probably doesn't make sense, because I need a job and these bills is real. But, God is telling me not to do it. So she was like, no worries, just know that it's here. I got you. I don't care what they say about you out here in these streets. Like, I know that you the truth, and, I want you at my school. So I'm like, cool. So I don't think anything else of it. So then fast forward to February, where my former supervisors call and they're like, we want you to go to this school. It's the same school, y'all, with the same principal that had asked me to come and work in an actual position at the school. So we get on the phone and I'm like, girl, this is so crazy. Like, you had tried to get me to come over there and I couldn't explain like why God was telling me no, but I see that it was for a very different reason. Like, he wanted me to work in a different capacity with you. So she was like, oh my gosh, this is nothing but God, whatever. So the amazing thing about this opportunity is that I was able to work when I wanted. I was able to get as much or as few hours as I needed, right? So the contract was written for a certain amount of time, and I was able to fulfill that like within a few weeks or stretch it out for a couple months. And I was able to do work that truly mattered to me, right? And I believe in the work that I do, but I feel like the work I had gotten to do at the beginning of that year before I had transitioned and lost the job and everything was work that was not really me. You know, it was stuff that I knew what I was talking about, but it wasn't my heart's desire. Y'all, this is just what's been happening. Like, I haven't even gotten to like the real crazy blessing. Okay, so that was February. So I start working there and work there up through spring break. So while I'm there, I'm talking with the principal. You know, she absolutely is valuing everything that I have to say, like absolute thought partners. And we're just really wanting to move her school forward in these areas. So in the meantime, Hillsborough County had gotten a new superintendent. And I had the opportunity to meet that superintendent again by chance, right? But not really. So I had the opportunity to meet that superintendent, and I felt like he was the right guy for the job. So I said to myself, well, maybe I'll try to work within his administration, and give Hillsborough County one more shot, right? So I'll try to work within his administration and hopefully, I can make one lasting impact before God transitions me wherever he wants me to go. So I applied for a couple positions within his administration. Okay. And I had talked to him and he had told me, just let me know what you want and, look at the organization chart, let me know what you want and, we'll see what we can do. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I applied for the position and I don't hear anything back. Like nothing. I'm talking radio silence. Like I don't hear, hey, you didn't meet the qualifications for this, but maybe for that, which I know I'm qualified because I'm looking at the qualifications, right? Nothing. So I'm like, okay, interesting, right? So then I go back on and I look at some other positions and I was like, well, maybe I should apply for these positions, so the position I applied for was like at a director level. So now I was like, well, maybe I should apply for like a supervisor or coordinator level. But then I started saying to myself, like, but I know more than this. Like I'm looking at the job description and I know more than this. And I know that I need to have a bigger impact than that, right? So I hear God say to me, don't apply for nothing else. So I'm like, okay. So I ask again, Jesus, what these bills about to be doing though? Because, right, so mind you, I told you I worked this contract up through spring break. Well, spring break, COVID happened. So we never went back to school. So I really wasn't able to fulfill the rest of the contract that I had intended because we never went back to school. So I'm like, okay, Lord, like I hear you telling me not to apply for anything else with Hillsborough County, but I got bills. Like I need to pay these bills. So he's like, listen, don't apply for anything else. I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't apply for nothing else. But I'm still like on Indeed. Like I'm getting notifications like the whole time, right? Notifications. So I was originally looking for positions in Boston and had run across a couple, but nothing really that was moving me. So then God tells me one day, I need you to take the limits off. Okay, because I was only looking in Boston. So he's like, I need you to take the limits off. So then I'm like, all right, well, let me do a different type of search. Let me search for what I'm passionate about. So I searched for jobs in social emotional learning. So I come across this job and it's kind of very vaguely written, but it's basically in school improvement. So school improvement is another one of my passions and working with schools, again, that are failing. That's why I had left my school to go and work with this company, right? So I'm like, okay, well, let me, look for school improvement jobs. So I come across this position and it's like the school improvement regional team or something like that, right? So I said, well, let me apply, right? Just fine, I'll apply. I don't know if I really want it, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and apply. So I apply for the job. So the first step is, thank you, Sterling. They send me they send me a, what do you call it? A video interview where you're not talking to a person, like you're just talking to the video, right? So in the video, one of the questions was like, what do you know about Pennsylvania's public school, right? So I'm like, oh snap, I don't know nothing. So I like, hurry up. You have like 2 minutes before the camera starts. So I like, hurry up and pull up some information about from their DOE website. And I like say some stuff, right, quick. And I'm like, Lord, I totally just made that all up, right? So then there were a few other questions after that. After that, I didn't really think about it. I was like, I probably bombed the interview, but next time I'll be more ready. So maybe about 2 weeks pass, I get a call or an email, actually a call. I get a call from them and they say, we want you to interview for this position, like an actual Zoom interview. So I'm like, okay. And I thought it a very personal touch for them to call, right? So they had sent an email, but then there was a follow-up call. And I was like, wow, that was really cool. Like they sent this follow-up call, right? So I scheduled the interview. So before I'm getting ready to go to the interview, so at this time I'm still in Florida. So I still don't like have real income, right? But so I get ready for the interview and I keep saying to myself, thank you. I don't even know if I really want this job. Like I just kept saying, I don't know if I really want this job. So, but whatever, I'm just going to interview. So I interview for the job and the whole time I'm kind of taking the mindset that I'm interviewing them as much as they're interviewing me. So they're asking me, well, they started out, they were like, what questions do you have? You want to ask us? I was like, I'm going to save my questions to the end, right? So they asked me all the questions about whatever. And at the end, I said, I want to know what your stance is on Black Lives Matter. I want to know what you are doing as an organization to ensure that there is equity in your organization. I would like to hear how you are prepping your team members to deal with equity issues that are happening in our schools. And I had looked up the two school districts that they primarily worked in, and I was like, and I see that one of the school districts has made a firm stance, the other has not. So what influence do you have in those areas, right? Like I was like, I want to know the things. So on this panel is maybe about 6 people. There's one Black lady and then the rest are white ladies and then one white man. So they were like, thank you for asking those questions. And, the honest answer is we're not doing enough. That's what we know, that we need to be doing something. And, yes, we're doing this, and this and blah, 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 blah. But we're not doing enough, Kimberly. And we recognize that. And we thank you, for asking that question. So I was like, all right, cool. We got off the Zoom. I was cool. I was like, man, that was great talking to them. Like, they were great people and kept it moving. Because, again, I don't really think I want this job. And this was in, like, the Pittsburgh area that they wanted me to go. So fast forward maybe the next week. Let me say this. The one Black lady that was on the call, she kept asking me questions about Tampa. And I was like, it was questions like she knew about the area. So I was like, are you familiar with Tampa? So she said, yeah, I actually was a principal in Pinellas County, which is right across the bridge from us, right? So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so while I'm talking during the interview, like I would say certain things and I would pay attention to her reaction. And she would be like, y'all know how we do, be like, girl, like you own it right there, right? So I'm like, okay, well, that's really cool. Glad I got a chance to meet her, whatever. I don't think nothing of it. So a week passes, I get a text message and a phone call from a number that I don't know. So I checked the text and her name is Portia. She says, hey, this is Portia. Can you give me a call? I want to talk to you about an opportunity. So I'm like, this doesn't sound like the job that I applied for, but okay, Portia, what's up, right? So I call her and she says, hey, have you heard from the company yet? So I said, well, no, they told me sometime this week, but it's all good whenever they get to me, whatever. In the meantime, I have already packed up my house. Like I've already decided I'm moving. Like I had already done that live where I was like, I've got to get out of Florida. In the moment that I cross the Florida state line, I know something great is going to happen. I had already said all this stuff, right? So she says, I want to talk to you about this opportunity. So I'm like, well, what's up? So she said, well, I wanted you to know that it came down to you and another candidate for the position that you applied for. And I told them not to go with you, but I wanted to tell you why. So I was like, Please do tell. So she says, she said, you know, I watched you during your interview and I paid attention to when you really lit up and the things that seemed to make you smile. And it really had to do in this area of creating culturally competent schools. And, you know, I just see that that's the place that you thrive and the place that you flourish and where your heart really lies. So she said, honestly, in that position that you applied for, that was my old position, and you really wouldn't have a lot of influence in that area. So we had a lot of debate about going with you, and ultimately what I asked is that they give the job to someone else so that we can create a position for you. So I was like, okay. So she said, so this is what I envision. She said, because the position it's not even a thing yet. But what I envision is for you not to just do a regional position with us. We need you to work statewide for the state of Pennsylvania, for you to create culturally competent schools within the state of Pennsylvania. So you won't be tied to any particular school. You will work with the schools who have put that within their school improvement plan. But what we also need you to do is to support our regional improvement teams, because we are not equipped and are not ready to have these conversations. And we can tell that you are very comfortable with courageous conversations and that this is the place where you flourish. So we really need you to be able to give us the words to say and let us know what we need to do in order to be able to help create these culturally competent schools. Y'all. So in the moment, I was like, at this time, I was still in Florida, right? So I'm sitting there like, okay. So I said, all right, well, send me the information. So she's like, listen, again, it's a shell position. You know, it's not like the actual position, but, you know, I'm going to send you the info so you can look at it. First thing I noticed when I look at it is that it's 20,000 more than the original position that I was looking at. Because the original position I was looking at was for a regional position. This was statewide, 20,000 more, right? Then I think about like the level of influence, because I'm talking to one of my friends and I'm like, yo, you know, I don't know if I want to work for somebody else. Like, I've not been working for anybody all this time, and like God has kept me. But, you know, and my friend was like, yo, they making a position for you, bro. Like, they out here, like, and this is what I want y'all to conceptualize. So when they called me to tell me this, okay, let me fast forward, then I'm gonna come back. So I have the interview with them, right? So they tell me this. So then the next week I have the interview. Well, that next week I'm already gone, right? So I've left Florida, I'm here. I have the interview on a Wednesday. Thursday they call and they were like, hey, we're about to start calling your references so we can get your offer letter together. Like, is there anybody you need to call and like give a heads up to let them know that that we're going to be calling? So I was like, oh no, like everybody already knows, you know, whatever. So they were like, okay, cool. This is what I want y'all to understand. These people had not even talked to my references. They had not talked to my references. They had not done anything but looked at my resume and had talked to me in this one interview and were like, she has blown us away so much that we want to create a statewide position for her to influence the schools in the state of Pennsylvania in order to create culturally competent schools. When I was in Tampa, I could not even get an interview for a district position. And these people trust everything that's inside of me enough to create a position for me to help change schools throughout the state of Pennsylvania. So to say I am excited is like an understatement. Like, this has been the most validating process ever. Because what will happen, and let me get to the point of why I even came on here, because I wanted to tell y'all this testimony, but more so than that, I wanted to talk to you about how people try to put you in a box and how people think that they are the gatekeeper to your future. And they put themselves in positions where they think that they are God and that they're controlling everything that's happening. And what they don't know is they are literally pushing you to the place of success. Because let me tell you something. Had it not been, y'all know me and Tamara Schamberger, are it at all, right? I have very little respect for her as a person just because of how she conducts herself. But one thing I can thank that lady for is, had she not put a target on my back, I would have been so comfortable in Hillsborough County that I would have never in a million years applied for anything outside of Tampa. So she, in all of her agitation, pushed me to a place where I was like, I got to get from out of here. And because of that, God was able to open this door for me to walk into. And it didn't make sense. Like I just kept saying, why am I not accepting these jobs when I got these bills, Jesus? And God was like, girl, I got you. Like the word says that God can do greater than we can think or imagine, right? And I, in my mind, could see myself at a district level leadership, right? God was like, girl, that ain't nothing at all. Let me show you how I'm about to take you straight from this city into this entire state. Let me show you how I'm about to increase your income by 75% like that. Let me show you how I'm about to do that. Let me show you how you're about to be paid what you're worth, and you're about to be valued for everything that I placed inside of you. And you know what? He is even bigger than that. Because what started to happen, like once all of this like got into play, because what I really want to do is I really want to travel the world, both the world, the nation and the world, both physically and virtually, empowering schools and education systems to have culturally competent and culturally relevant schools, and to be able to directly combat the systemic racism. Like that is my life's goal. Like if I could do that every day, that, and I will, right? So what God showed me is, this is just a stepping stone for you to go here for a little bit more validation. Oh, let me tell y'all this part. So then I was looking at the benefits. Why they got 100% tuition reimbursement? 100% tuition reimbursement. You think your girl not about to go get a doctorate on these fools? Because the only reason I had not continued on to get my doctorate is because I couldn't justify the cost. Like, I'm not about these student loans. Like, I'm not with it. 100% tuition reimbursement. So in a matter of 3 years, I'm about to have my doctorate, which is going to add another level of, God, this girl knows what she's talking about. I'm responsible for the entire state of Pennsylvania. Dang, she know what she's talking about. I'm out here writing these trainings. We got school districts calling us. Me and one of my colleagues that have been writing these trainings, we got school districts calling us. Listen, the consulting company is already in the works. It is literally a matter of us filing the paperwork. Like, and all of this has happened, y'all, within the last month. So in real life, I want you all to tap in to whatever it is that your dreams have been, like wherever you've been saying, man, I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do this, and man, if only they would believe in me enough to do. Listen, I don't even care what they believe. Like, have enough belief in you to know that what is inside of you is enough, and that God will make room. The word says your gift will make room for you. And y'all, I'm like, because I'm sitting outside this, I'm trying to like tone it down some. But when I tell you, when I get in the zone, I be screaming and hollering like, God, you showing out for real. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. So that's just pieces. I left out certain pieces because the ink is not dry on certain things. So I don't want to speak before things get into place. But I just literally wanted to take some time to share that with you all, because I just feel like so many of us have been beaten down to the place where, oh, thank you, to the place where we have stopped believing in ourselves, and we started to question and second guess what we have inside of us, because we don't trust ourselves, because people been gaslighting us, and people telling you, oh, you ain't ready yet. Go sit down. Go sit in the corner. Like, go go, do whatever. And I'm just here to tell you that this exponential increase is out here in the midst of COVID, in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of everything else that has been happening. Like, God is out here moving to a place that your mind cannot even conceptualize. So it's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop shrinking. And that's something I remember. There was this pastor one time, and he was like, I need you to stop shrinking. I need you to stop shrinking, and I need you to stand in everything that God has created you to be. But I was so trying to be humble, right? It's called being fake humble. I was trying to be humble, so I would downplay, or just kind of somebody be like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome. And I'll be like, oh girl, it's just me. No. I am awesome. And you know why I'm awesome? It's because God has created me that way. And he has made me in his image. And God has intentionally perfected me to a place to walk in the destiny that he's called for me in real life, right? And he's done the same thing for each of you. And that's why it's so important for us to know what our gift is and what our callings are and what our purpose is, so that you can walk in it and know with full certainty that you're meant to be there, right? I was talking to my therapist and she was like, are you nervous, since it's going to be statewide? And I was like, no, no, I'm not actually, because I know what I'm talking about. And I know that I know what I'm talking about, and it feels amazing to be at a point where I know that I know what I'm talking about. So nobody can tell me anything different because I know what is inside of me. I know the words that God puts in my mouth to say. I know that when I talk, people listen. I know that my heart is in the right place, which means that everything else is going to fall into the right place. Like, I know that. So nobody else can tell me that. You can sit up there and try to twist the narrative however you want to make it. I already know what God I serve, right? So I just need y'all, I'm not gonna preach because my phone's about to die, but I just need y'all to tap in. And I just wanted to give a little bit of encouragement for whoever needed to hear this today, because I'm fully certain that some of you are sitting in the place that I was, and you're questioning why God is asking you to do certain things, and it doesn't make any sense at all. But I want to just admonish you to trust him. Like, just trust that he knows what he's doing, that he's got this, and all you need to do is take the step, right? When Abram left his homeland, God said, go to a land that I will show you, right? So our job is the going. But we always we always want to know the showing first, right? I was really bad about that. But we just got to go, whatever that looks like. Just go. So, yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm glad that this was inspirational for y'all today, and I hope that it was right on time and something that will help carry you to your next place that you are going to be going and heading, because there are literally people that are waiting for you to get to where you need to get to so that they can get to where they need to get to. So having said that, I did not come on here for this, but the Lord just told me to say it. I'm going to remind y'all again that I'm a life coach, and my program is called Discover Your Destiny. Hey, Aisha, you're supposed to be getting ready. My program is called Discover Your Destiny, and it is all about getting to the destiny that God has called you to be. So understanding how God created you, what you have inside of you, and then the actual process of getting to that. So if you are in your mind and you're like, yo, I need some of this boldness, like I really need to get out of my own way in real life, message me, because we can get you started. And any of y'all that have been following me for a while know that I am literally just a facilitator of God to do what it is that he wants to do, right? So if that's bubbling up in your spirit, holla at your girl. If it's not for you, it's probably for somebody that you're connected to. So send them my information, send them my way, and I'm going to have some more updates in a couple weeks. Like I said, I am heading from here over to Pennsylvania tomorrow. So I have already found a place to live, y'all. This transition been so easy. I remotely got a job. I remotely found a place to live. I have remotely done everything. So tomorrow I'm literally walking into my new loft. in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I am beyond excited. So I might, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like a tour or something when I get there so you guys can see the new place and just appreciate with me what God is doing because it's really big. So I'm going to go. My phone is about to die. And yeah, but I love y'all. Share this with some people so that they can be encouraged. Okay. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.